We're joined today by PACE Global Advantage member Garry Clement. Garry is the founder of Clement Advisory Group. Garry, tell us a little bit about what your company does for PGA.
Clement Advisory Group has partnered with PACE Global Advantage as far as conducting what we often refer to as enhanced due diligence. And I guess to explain it in real terms, what we're doing is PACE has directed very clearly that he wants to be seen as definitely an above board, have the type of clients that come in the door that would be the same as any wealth management group in a bank would have. So what our goal is, or what Clement Advisory Group does, is we drill down on the clients that are coming in from, and what we're relying on is, having been in law enforcement for many years and worked in the anti-money laundering industry, we're really utilizing a lot of the tools that you would find banks using to drill down on their clients, because what we want to determine is any money coming into, say, an investor immigration program or investment of any kind coming from overseas, that the money is coming from legitimate sources and not being derived from criminal activity or potentially terrorist financing.
You mentioned due diligence. How do you go about performing background checks?
Well, due diligence, first of all, we are supplied by PACE Global Advantage, all the details of the individual and the corporations that they're involved in. And then it's basically conducting, as you're applying for a job, but only in more detail. We'll look at to verify if most of the information that is contained in that document, how much of it we can attest to using all reasonable measures, that it is true. We look at, as I said, we often will go to subcontractors and ask them to conduct inquiries in the country from which the individual is originating from. And those inquiries on the ground can lead to oftentimes some very revealing information, both positive and negative, depending where the client's coming from. And lastly, as I said, we rely heavily on what the whole financial community today does. There's a number of organizations that provide background information through all the different sites that governments or different restrictive lists or sanction lists the countries have put up, including the United Nations. And we make sure that no individual is part of those lists, because the last thing that PACE Global Advantage wants to be seen as allowing somebody to come into the country that actually has been designated part of a terrorist group or part of a sanctioned group. And so we want to make sure that those applying are the right individuals and that money does come from legitimate sources.
What is the value-added proposition for this service?
Well, I think it's value-added on a number of fronts. Number one is, I think for any client that uses PACE Global Advantage, it sends a very clear message that we are a very strong and ethical company, and we want to be seen that way by all the clients that apply. So it provides a sound foundation for those that apply to PACE through PACE Global Advantage to know that they're dealing with a reputable company that's going to drill down. Secondly, I think it sends a clear message to the governments with which PACE Global Advantage has to interact with, the government of Canada especially, in the various immigration programs. We're sending a clear message that we are doing due diligence, and we know the clients that we're dealing with, not just from what they're telling us on paper, but we're drilling down and making sure that we can attest to the fact that they are very legitimate. And I think that allows us to put a lot of our clients at the head of the line, because governments are going to be able to rely on that. And lastly, I think what it does is it builds a real solid foundation. As you know, PACE Global Advantage provides a lot of other services. So if we're very comfortable and we built this relationship based on a strong ethical framework, we are able to provide so many other services through PACE Global Advantage to the client so they can capitalize on what is available in this great country called Canada.
All right, Garry, thanks for joining us today. We'll talk to you again soon. Everyone else, please visit paceglobaladvantage.com for more information.